Yes, folks, it's Tales from the Jails with John G. Sutton. I keep asking, do please like and subscribe. Help! There you go, a little cry for help again. Hey, and don't forget, folks, get my book. It's there on Amazon. HMP Manchester Prison Officer, John G. Sutton. Anyway, I'm going to talk today about violence against staff. You know, inmates attacking prison officers. I'm going to recount one particular incident that I was present there, and the member of staff was quite seriously injured. It wasn't without some provocation that he received what he received, but he did receive it. Your comments. I like your comments. Insults, questions, requests. Let me have it. I'm not very good at getting goats, so it's no good asking me, Larry. I can't get you goats, and I am going to do a very special 12 days of Christmas for you all here. I'm going to write it, you know, because I can't do that chubby brown one. Goodness me, it's revolting. Yeah, I mean, I've got a sense of humour, but come on. Anyway, we'll talk today about violence against staff in prisons, and it was frequent back in the 70s and 80s. I believe it still is today. Well, it will be, won't it? Because you're holding people against their will inside the walls of HM prisons. Some of whom are not guilty, some of whom are awaiting trial, and there's people being on remand in the prisons for over a year. I mean, the innocent until proven guilty, eh? Take that, you got 12 months inside while we think about it. And don't forget, once you get up there and you're found not guilty, you've just lost a year out of your life or more. Because the court system is in absolute disarray, as it has been pointed out on numerous occasions by members of the judiciary. What I believe is happening with the prisons and people on remand, there's probably about 9,000 people on remand in the prisons at the moment, is the courts can't cope. So people are being wrongfully, in my opinion, there should be a strict limit on the amount of time that people can be held in custody pending trial. There should be a limit on that, and I think the limit should be something like 6 months at the absolute maximum, with the normal time being 3 months. If they can't produce the case and put it in court by then, well, what are they playing at? Anyway, that's my opinion. I'm going to talk about violence against staff. I'll tell you one particular incident. There was a guy, and I was a hospital officer at the time, working at Strangeways, and we had the hospital landing because the ward was full, the actual cellular accommodation in the main hospital block was full, so we extended it onto the end of A wing, and we used a portion of A1 and A2 landing on at Strangeways. And one particular inmate, we had some strip cells on there. They were not particularly padded cells, but they were strip cells with nothing in them except the inmate, and they were usually wearing what I would call like strong clothing, you know, so they couldn't rip it or tear it. And they had like a heavy-duty blanket that they also couldn't rip and tear, and a plastic piss pot. That was it. That's what they had in the cells. There's one particular inmate who was, I don't know if you've ever seen it, he started to walk like a robot. You know, his moves were almost mechanical. Like that, you know. Everywhere he went, walked to the recess, back, you know, like a robot. I tell the story in my book, of what happened next. And this particular hospital officer that I was working with was a big hefty guy, probably about 6 foot, you know, the usual 15, 16 stoner, you know, big hefty guy. And this inmate who was walking about like a robot never said a damn word, nothing. He just looked at you like that. But he was only about 5'4", quite skinny as well, probably about 9 or 10 stone at the most, yeah. And this rather large, hefty hospital officer said to him, "You effing idiot, what do you think you're playing at, you?" And he put his face right into this guy's thing, and "You are nothing but a complete tosspot." And the guy walking like he'd stopped walking by this time, picked his fist up, went boosh straight on this guy's nose. What a bloody crack! You could hear it crack. You know, it splattered his nose all over his face. He was quite seriously, badly injured. I just guided the hospital officer to one side and said to the inmate, "Would you like to go back to your cell now?" Turned around and back like a robot into his cell. I shut the door, and then I cared for the hospital officer who'd been injured. It was badly broken, his nose, very badly broken. And so I called for the senior medical officer who came over, and he said, "Would you escort him to Salford Royal Hospital and get him seen to there?" So we got a taxi and I took him to the hospital at Salford Royal in Manchester, and his wife turned up. You know, somebody had notified his wife, and she was completely distressed by this because her husband was a right bloody mess, I tell you. They put supports on his nose to try and stop it from, because it would have been bent like 90 degrees to the right. What a crack that bloke gave. I mean, considering he was only a little robotic character. Yeah. But numerous times you got attacked by inmates. I mean, I've been attacked by inmates, and usually you don't respond, but I never did respond by trying to injure them. Occasionally, you don't have any choice. There was a guy, when I first went back to Strange Ways from the Scrubs, probably on one of the first days I was there, started ranting and raving at me because he was in the wrong cell, wouldn't move out of his cell. It's in my book, by the way. I'm not trying to just flog you a book, but it is. And so when I ordered him out the cell, he come running at me, and he was a big lad, you know, bigger than me. Unfortunately for him, when he got to be about 6 inches from me, you know, what am I going to do? He collided with my forehead. You know, he got, and he went down like a sack of potatoes. Of course, you know, people think you're a thug doing things like that, but I mean, what am I going to do? I'm being attacked. As I said, I didn't deliberately go out of my way to injure people, but occasionally you have to defend yourself. That is why the Hostess Brigade can't maintain good order and discipline. Because in the event that they're faced with a big, angry man, they do not have the answer. They don't have the answer. It's all right saying, "Oh, we've got pepper sprays and truncheons." I've seen truncheons broken on men's heads, hit so hard that the truncheon snapped in half. And believe me, when you get some of these big guys and they're going for it, you ain't going to hurt them with a truncheon. You need somebody that knows what they're doing. I mean, I used to wrestle for a German team, so I knew once I got somebody on the floor, I knew how to tie them up a little bit, you know. And there were a lot of staff who were handy lads, but that's going back into the days when we had prison officers instead of the Hostess Brigade. Anyway, it's that time of day, folks. This is Tales from the Jails with John G. Sutton. Do please like, subscribe, leave me your comments down below. I will do what I can. That's the song dinger, by the way. The song ding 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 dong. Yeah, and I'm going to sing a song now by Chris Christopherson. Yeah. And I'm going to sing this song. Well, it's not singing, is it? It's more like torture. Hey. But it ain't torture like you used to get. This is torture of the ears. Help me make it through the night. And if you get through this, you're a better man than I am, Gunga Din. Are you ready? Take the ribbons from your hair, Shake it loose and let it fall. Lay it soft upon my skin, like the shadows on the wall. Come and lay down by my side till the early morning light. All I'm taking is your time. Help me make it through the night. I don't care who's right or wrong, and I don't try to understand. Let the devil take tomorrow. Lord, tonight I need a friend. Yesterday is dead and gone, and tomorrow's out of sight. Oh, it's sad to be alone. Just help me make it through the night. I don't care what's right or wrong. I don't try to understand. Yeah, let the devil take tomorrow. Lord, tonight I need a friend. Yesterday, it's dead and gone, and tomorrow's out of sight. Lord, it's sad to be alone. Come on, help me make it through the night. If you've got any requests, apart from go sing at the back of the garden and turn the mic off, I'll be delighted to help. Down below, Tales from the Jails.